Yo, what is up guys? Del Boy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are well. If you could smash the like, it would be much appreciated. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys won't be interested, but I found this interesting. Murat Gassiev finally has a date for his return. Of course, we last saw Murat Gassiev back in July 2018 when he lost to Alexander Usyk in the final of the World Boxing Super Series. After the fight with Usyk, we learned that Murat Gassiev would be moving to heavyweight, but that heavyweight debut has been postponed due to injuries basically. He's had a really bad time with injuries. I believe his shoulder went on one occasion, and yeah, he's been battling injuries, hence why he's not returned to the ring. But February 29th on the undercard of Jesse Vargas versus Mikey Garcia, Murat Gassiev will be making his return to the ring, and at heavyweight, he's going to be fighting American heavyweight Jerry Forrest. Jerry Forrest, he's an obscure heavyweight, and what little footage I have seen of him, he isn't great, I've got to be honest. He has a record of 26 wins, 3 defeats, 20 of those 26 wins coming by way of knockout. He is 6'1", he's a southpaw, so he's not the biggest heavyweight. He seems to carry some type of power, but from looking at him on film, he's really not a great fighter by any means, and Gassiev should win this one fairly decisively. I mean, if you look at Jerry Forrest's record, he recently lost a split decision to American prospect Jermaine Franklin. I don't really rate Jermaine Franklin at all, to be honest with you, so that's the level he's at. Gassiev really should take care of this guy in good fashion, but, he's been out of a ring for quite some time, over 18 months, so to be honest, I really wasn't expecting anything special, and to be honest, I accept this type of fight for Murat Gassiev, just because of a long layoff, coming off a loss, coming off loads of injuries, fighting at heavyweight for the first time. Obviously Jerry Forrest isn't great, but yeah, I'll give him a pass for this one, given the circumstances. Hopefully Murat Gassiev can actually make it to the fight and not get injured, and hopefully he can actually mount a successful campaign at heavyweight. I actually like Murat Gassiev a lot. I think he's got ability, he's got heavy hands, and I think he may surprise people at heavyweight, to be honest with you. Murat Gassiev was a massive cruiserweight. It was well known this guy was cutting a lot of weight to make cruiserweight. He was suffering a big weight cut. So at heavyweight, this guy could be fresher, and maybe at heavyweight, he could even punch harder. One thing that stuck with me about Murat Gassiev was listening to Chris Arreola speak about him, and this was after Chris Arreola fought Deontay Wilder, Vitaly Klitschko, etc. And he said Murat Gassiev was the hardest puncher he's ever been in the ring with, and that was sparring with big gloves. I'm assuming that's when Gassiev wasn't going through a weight cut, that's when Gassiev was fighting at his natural weight in sparring. So that kind of made me think maybe Gassiev's power will actually carry up to heavyweight, and maybe this guy could be a viable contender. I like Gassiev's skill set. He does the basics well. He's got good punch technique, good body puncher, strong guy. I think this guy will do alright. I think this guy's going to surprise people. Hopefully he gets this tune-up fight out of the way, and after that he can push on and fight better competition. But I certainly wouldn't rule out Murat Gassiev. I know he lost badly to Alexander Usyk, but that's really no disgrace. We've got to remember, Murat Gassiev is only 25, 26 years old. He's still fairly young, and believe it or not, this guy really didn't have much of an amateur career at all. He had very few amateur fights, so considering that, he's had a really good career so far, former unified champion, etc. And like I say, that's impressive when you've not had really any amateur background and you've started boxing late. So Murat Gassiev is obviously a quick learner, he's a skilled fighter, he's not tiny, he's 6'3.5", so I expect this guy to actually have success at heavyweight, I really do. Don't get it twisted, I'm not saying he becomes a champion or anything like that, but I certainly believe this guy could beat some contenders in the heavyweight division, maybe guys like Adam Kalnatsky, for example, or people along those lines. But we'll have to see. But I'm glad Murat Gassiev is returning to the ring. Like I said, hopefully he stays injury free and we see a nice and active 2020 for Murat Gassiev. Anyway, share your thoughts below. What do you make of this news? Peace.